All right, in this video, we're going to talk about 5 mistakes that people have made as boat owners, and I'm going to mention a few that I've made myself. I would say number one in this video, and I see it time in and time out over and over again, is lack of maintenance on their boat. And when I say this, I mean people leave their boat sitting for 2 or 3 months at a time and expect to just come down and turn the key and go. Hardly ever works like that. Boats are a little bit different than cars, trucks, tractors, stuff like that. You can leave a tractor sit for a couple months. As long as you got a good battery in it, you can go back down there and fire up and she'll go. Boats are not like that. They have systems that need to be run, need to be checked, need to be used, need to be maintained. Seen it time and time again where a lot of people, will neglect their boat, not keep up on their maintenance, come down after it's been sitting idle for a month and a half, 2 months, expect to turn the key and go. And it's not like you're in a car and it breaks down where you can just get out, walk, or make a phone call. It's a lot of times by the time something happens, you're out of cell phone range or something like that. It really poses a problem. So you really want to keep up on all your maintenance, keep track on your maintenance schedule, and boat use is important. You got to use that thing. Burn that fuel up. Fuel sitting idle in a boat is no good. So that's number one. So number two, I see it time in and time out here at Oregon Inlet, people not being familiar with the waterways they're navigating in. Not all things are as they seem. You might be running down the channel, it's a marked channel, and you might think there's plenty of water, but sometimes there's not. Tides, sandbars, everything shifts, can cause a hazard to navigation. A channel marker can get blown out of position and after a big storm or something like that. So you really want to take caution, when it comes to navigating channels. The best thing to do is follow a boat out, that's a local boat, used to the channel around. And that's my best advice on that one. Number three, find the wrong boat for their needs or their purpose. I don't know if anybody's seen the videos of all the inlets and stuff like that down towards Florida, but you see a bow rider boat come out of that inlet and the tide's ebbing and there's a big swell coming in there, and before you know it, the whole bow is full of water. You really got to buy the right boat for what you're going to be using it for and the waterway you're going to be using it in. If you're on a lake or something like that where it hardly ever gets rough, yeah, one of those bow rider boats are great. But, where you're going to encounter some rough seas, stuff like that, you really need a boat with a pretty good bow on it that can shear off, a pretty big sea. And if you're going to be navigating in the ocean, you need a certain size boat. If you're a solo fisherman and you just like to go out and throw a line in the evenings or something like that, you don't need anything but a 12-foot skiff if you're going to do it in the creek. If you're going to take 3 or 4 people out and you've got 5, 6 fishing rods and tackle boxes and coolers, stuff like that, you need a bigger boat. But different styles of boats for different needs and different waterways. You just got to weigh all your options. In a spinoff, one of my biggest mistakes, or our biggest mistakes here, don't get me wrong, we love the Speechless, but I wish in the beginning we'd thought a little bit bigger picture, which who knows, we didn't know it was going to turn into what it did. But I wish we'd have bought a larger boat to start off with, a bridge boat. We had small dreams and it's turned into a big dream, so that's one of them there that I'm guilty of. Of course, there was a lot of factors that went into that decision, but for pretty much the same money or a little bit more, we could have, got a much larger boat, different setup, stuff like that. That's more ideal for what we'd be using it for at this current, moment. But she's been a great boat and we love her to death, so I wouldn't trade the experience for the world. All right, number 4. This is a big one here. Underestimating the cost of owning a boat. A lot of people just see the price tag on the boat and they're like, oh, I can handle that payment. But there's a lot more that goes on besides that boat payment. Insurance. You got to think about the fuel you're going to burn while you're using the boat. There's no sense in having a boat if you're not going to use it. Your slip fees. There's a lot of extra expense that goes on. Maintenance. It just goes on and on and on. Breakdown, repairs. It's actually the boat payment is the cheap part. It's everything that goes along with it, especially if you have a boat like ours, you can pretty much figure 10% of the boat's worth every year in maintenance. And just takes a lot of money to own and operate a boat. So that's one thing you need to think about. And number 5 here, this is kind of a tough one and it can go in many directions, but just spending your money on flashy upgrades when you really should be spending your money on, you know, like safety equipment and stuff like that. You know, everybody wants the best light kit on a boat, but you know, they might not have the best VHF radio. You know what I mean? The VHF radio might not work. You want to make sure that the money you put into your boat goes towards the right thing as far as, you know, maintenance and having good electronics package and, you know, things like that. It's very easy to get caught up in some of the gadgets and flashy things that are associated with boats, and anytime it has marine on it, it doubles or triples in price. But one mistake we've made here on the Speechless as far as electronics and everything is we had a camera system installed on the boat. It's got a DVR and supposed to record I don't know how many hours of footage and everything else like that. Had an underwater camera installed, drilled a hole in the stern of the boat. It was just a complete waste of money. It cost $10,000. We thought we were going to be able to get a lot of footage off of it. Just didn't work out that way. It's really hard to get the footage off the DVR. It takes forever. The camera is not really great. The lens gets salty every day, even though you clean it. If you're not super careful about how you clean it, the lens gets scratched. I kind of figured this was going to happen anyway, but the underwater camera where we put it, I figured maybe we were sitting still, you know, bailing dolphin or something like that, it would get some pretty good underwater footage, but it really doesn't. There's just even when you're sitting still, there's still bubbles around it, and it only takes a matter of a week for it to get some kind of filmy growth on it, and you clean it off and it's right back again, and you can't put any kind of anti-fouling paint on it because that distorts the lens too, and it's just been a nightmare. It's a waste of money. So just one of them things that I regret as a you know, being a boat owner and stuff like that. You really want to think things through and do your research before you go spending your money on stuff like that. Other than that, we have a lot of great electronics here on the Speechless. Side view, side scan, whatever you want to call it. Just radar, state-of-the-art equipment. So we'd love to have you come and go with us. Slip 92 here, Speechless Sport Fishing at Pirates Cove Marina. You can book your trip right online, get your swag, your sweatshirts, hats, t-shirts. We got it all on there. We'd love to have you go fishing with us. And it's some of the best bill fishing going on right now that we've seen in a long time. A lot of white marlins. So we'd love to have you come and go with us. Until next time.